Hey ladies and gentlemen, Alan here from the Contractor License School and owner of Alcom Tax. Our clients are different than others because ours pay less in taxes. One of the things I've noticed over the years is that we're always looking for good bookkeepers and tax professionals to handle specifically construction because it has a nuanced development as it grows. And here's the key. We specialize in taxes, advertising, marketing, and getting your license for contractors. So I want to give you an example of some things that can reduce your taxes, and I guarantee a couple things that pretty much 99.9% of all the bookkeepers and CPAs that you've ever used have never even talked to you about. So here it is, check this out. Of course, you know you can write off your tools and your equipment. That's a no-brainer, right? That reduces your tax burden. If you're not writing that off and you're missing that, you're paying more in taxes because you're showing more profit. Number two, let's move on. So the next one here is important, and this is actually vehicle and truck expenses. Now let me give you a little secret there. If you buy a vehicle that's qualified over 6,000 pounds, you could write that off the very first year. So if you have 30,000 in taxes, you buy a $30,000 vehicle, that is going to eliminate masses of your taxes, which is great, right? Now, there's two pathways. Some people buy it under the business. That's the way to get this particular tax write-off. And the other one is that you buy it personally, right? Now, if you buy it personally, you want to track your miles. You get to write off those miles at whatever the state changes every year, but it changes the amount, but it actually comes out to quite a bit of money, and you want to save that in something like Mile IQ, because then you can write that check from your business to you completely, that's right, 100% tax-free. Moving on to the next one, so that's vehicle. How about materials and job supplies? Well, obviously, if you write those off of the business, that reduces your taxable income, and then you save on taxes. And that one's a no-brainer. You guys already know that one. Let's look at the next one. So we also have home office deduction. Has your bookkeeper or tax person ever talked to you about this? Because if you use a space within your home, you calculate the square footage, you get to write off not only the square footage of your home, but you also get to write off certain utilities, home repair, things like that for maintenance. This is a great one. Make sure you keep records. When you're using us as bookkeeper and tax professional, we're going to make sure you dial this in. Moving on. So phone and internet. Now, you can write off a percentage of your phone if you're using your personal phone, but if you buy a business phone, well then of course that's 100% write-off. And so those are things you want to be able to utilize. Don't forget your internet as well. Now, on here, contractors. I want to explain this one because most bookkeepers and tax professionals do not know this, because remember, we specialize in taxes and bookkeeping for contractors. When you hire a subcontractor, another contractor under you, and they have their business, but they do not have their license in the state of California, guess what? You can't 1099 them. You can't even use them in California. If you use them, you know better because you got your license in California, you can get in a lot of trouble. So you can only hire under you subcontractors that are actually licensed contractors. When you do that, then you can 1099 them. If you hire people who are non-licensed and the IRS or EDD walks up on you, you're going to pay all the back taxes and pretty much double, because you have to pay their contribution and your contribution for all the times they've worked for you in the past many years. So don't do that. We help you navigate that with clarity. Go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so license and permits. Check this out. You can write off your business license. You can write off your contractor's license. You can write off memberships to groups within the community that you can go to and network. Remember, your network equals your net worth. And I want to say this because this is something that I say is actually pretty darn awesome. But unfortunately, contractors don't use this. Did you know there are entrepreneur meetings? Business owners that are entrepreneurs come together all over the cities, all over state of California, all different times during the week, and they belong to these groups where they come together and they work towards building business. The odd thing is, contractors never show up. But wait a minute. Think about this, because someone asked me this on the radio when they were interviewing me. If I had to start all over again, what would I do to grow my business? I would attend all these meetings, because those are the people who own the multifamilies, you know? Those are the ones who own the apartment complexes, the commercial buildings, the residential homes, the golf courses. And you know what they're always looking for and they aren't showing up? Contractors. So yes, when you belong to that organization, you get a tax write-off. Let's go to the next one here. So we also have work clothing and safety. Let's say that you get some work clothing or you provide safety clothing for your client. Well, just note that that's all a tax write-off. You can get that taken care of. Next one. All right, insurance. Yes, you can write off the insurance. You can get that taken care of. Whether you're doing general liability, work comp, or all those kinds of things, all that is an actual tax write-off. So don't forget, we're going to help you navigate that. Next. All right, marketing and also bidding costs. Well, you're going to want to do marketing. You shouldn't build a business if you don't have a website. In fact, when I build a business, I build the website generally first, and then I begin to do all the legal entities and that kind of stuff as we go, because you want to own that name. Okay, just a quick tidbit, buy a name that's short, not long. All right, now marketing, website costs, lead generation platform, job signs, all those kinds of things, ads, all those are fully deductible. And let me say this, obviously, maybe some of you don't know, but I know this, and that is that we own a web design internet marketing company for contractors. Why would you go to another web designer who does not understand construction? This is what they're going to do. Hey, you, Mr. Contractor, Mrs. Contractor, tell us what you do. You're going to list 1,000 or 100 things that you do, and they're going to try to market all that. Think about all the wasted time when only 20% of what you do actually makes you the most amount of money. Why would you market things that don't make you anything? Let all the other contractors waste their time on that. You market the things that make you 10 times more money so that you can live and you can also enjoy family meals with your family. You can go on vacations, all that kind of stuff. So we'll work with you on that. Next one. The Augusta rule. I'm pretty positive that most bookkeepers and tax people have never told you this, but you can rent your home out to a board meeting or a business or something like that for the day, and that money comes back to you completely 100% tax-free. So let's say you accumulated $20,000 to $30,000 that year. That is completely tax-free, ladies and gentlemen. That is beautiful. And how do you do that? Well, you can do that because maybe you have a pool or you have a barbecue, you have a really nice setup, and people want to be outside of the norm of their business, and they want to be able to come to a place where they can relax, talk business, have a board meeting. You could do that 14 times. We'll talk about that later when you attend our tax training seminars. Next one. This one, the final one, your self-directed IRA. Did you know that you could put money in here? It's like a savings account. You can't get this from Schwab or any of those other kinds of accounts. This is a specialized self-directed one. And when you put your money in there, you can invest that into investments like I do, where I get 20 to 24% return on my investment, which is a lot more than the savings accounts or any kind of CDs are giving you, right? And here's the beautiful thing. That money comes back, and no matter the gains, even if the gains are over $1 million, you'll never pay taxes on that $1 million, because most people don't know this. Your bookkeeper and tax person, unfortunately, has probably never taught you this. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to set up a scheduled meeting with us. We want to walk you through this. You're going to then also, once you're a part of our team, once we're helping you out with your bookkeeping and taxes, we're going to go ahead and start doing some training seminars to learn how to navigate your business as your business grows. Let's face it, does your bookkeeper and tax person meet you on an annual basis to help you with that? So I want to invite you in. Click down below, get your calendar set, and let's do this. My name is Alan Diaz with Outcome Tax, and don't forget, all come with Outcome.